the grandmother of my child has to.
Well, because I'm not the one that got pregnant on prom night. You wouldn't be having this problem.
Okay.
That wasn't my decision.
Okay, but you're my mother, right?
I
you
had
always
one
said
child.
you wanted a grandchild, didn't
I
you?
had one child, yes, I wanted a grandchild, but it would have been nice if you would have got married first and had someone to share the responsibility with, not me.
Today's wild courtroom drama would make you question everything you thought you knew about relationships. A mother took her own daughter to court, not out of revenge, not out of anger, but because she had no choice. And when I say this case was jaw-dropping, I mean even the judge was left speechless.
We have a kind of a bad situation. My daughter seems to be so busy sometimes that I think she knows she's a mom, but she kind of has other responsibilities that she's kind of putting in the forefront of everything. And so it's the last 2 years, it's kind of gotten difficult for me.
You did hear that, right? And now tell us, can you believe it? And the poor grandma? Honestly, you can't even be mad at her in this crazy mess.
We have one baby girl, her name is London, and she's almost 2, and my daughter is trying to go to college, work, be a mom, and everything else that she wants to be. And so it's just gotten to a point where it's kind of ridiculous because I need some assistance financially, and unfortunately, I'm not getting it.
Imagine a grandmother standing in court, fighting not for herself, but for the well-being of her granddaughter, because her daughter, the child's own mother, had completely dropped the ball.
So I am a full-time student, college student.
Okay.
So I'm spending most of my times, at nights going to school. But on top of that, I also work for the university during the day.
What do you do?
I'm actually an intern, full-time intern for the psychology program. And so
Grandma stepped up and took on full-time parenting, emotionally and financially. Not because she wanted to, because she had to. Someone had to keep this child afloat, and the birth mother sure wasn't volunteering.
I work, all day. I go to school at nights. I don't come home.
Congratulations. We all work all day.
Yeah, I don't get home until like midnight, and I don't really see why it's a problem that my mother, the grandmother of my child, has to.
Well, because I'm not the one that got pregnant on prom night. You wouldn't be having this problem.
Okay.
That wasn't my decision.
Okay, but you're my mother.
When it comes to expressing herself about why she has been ignoring her child, all she can say is, she works. Really? That's her excuse? She's not the first working mom in the world. But hold on, because there's more to this story, and trust me, it's about to get interesting.
Right.
You always said you wanted a grandchild, didn't you?
I had one child, yes, I wanted a grandchild, but it would have been nice if you would have got married first and had someone to share the responsibility with, not me.
I can't do it by myself though.
You're not doing it by yourself.
I'm trying to use that money, right? So that way I can pay for my tuition for college.
Wait, what? Are we really going to pretend your mom forced you to get pregnant so she could become a grandmother? What is wrong with people these days? That's not just deflecting, that's straight up delusion.
And you said something very key while you were talking. You said grandmother. Right. You're her child. She raised you. It is not her responsibility to raise your child.
Right.
And finally, the judge has to speak here. She looked the mom dead in the eye and reminded her, in no uncertain terms, that this is her child. That being busy doesn't mean you get to toss your responsibilities aside, like yesterday's laundry. Real talk from the bench.
You don't feel like you should pay your mother? If your daughter were going to daycare, you would be paying the daycare, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like they should be paid?
Yes.
They're taking care of your child, looking after your child, changing diapers, feedings. They should be paid, right?
Right.
Your mother is doing everything I just named, correct?
Yes.
Oh wow, what an example. That's more like boss lady in action. And of course, that hit her like a truck, because suddenly it clicked. She was willing to pay strangers, but not the woman actually raising her child. And yes, that's the harsh reality of life today. People will spend more on doggy daycare than on family.
Well, she uses her money for the school loans, and I can appreciate that she doesn't want to have school debt.
Right.
But
yeah,
now that she's making more money, she's going to have to give me a little bit of that. They live with me. The house is paid. We don't have that bill. So I know she wants to be responsible and not have any debt, but you know, mommy doesn't need to be having no debt and worried about diapers and all that too.
And let's talk about Grandma. She's the real MVP in all of this. She stepped up when no one else would. No complaints, no conditions, just pure love and commitment to that little girl. She even recognized that her daughter's trying, working, going to school, but love and effort don't pay for groceries. And honestly, one can't help but applaud this lady.
She does try to help, but it's just not enough. And now that she's got a promotion, I feel like she needs to take a little bit more responsibility. I've done everything I can, sweetie.
Honestly, the world needs more people like her. She didn't take this to court out of spite. She tried to work it out. She gave her daughter chance after chance. This was her last resort. And still, she showed more grace than most would.
You know that I'm a double major, right?
I know that, sweetheart. But like I said,
I can't afford
London
to
is
do that.
important too. So,
I know she is. And that's why I leave her with you.
well, just like I did a
take care
good
of
job
her.
with raising
I
you.
leave her with you.
Here's the thing. Your best doesn't count when your child is going without, especially when your mom is footing the bill and carrying the emotional weight. Best efforts don't pay for shoes, clothes, or doctor visits.
And you leave your child with your mother and do not believe that your mother should receive some sort of financial assistance.
What a great mom. I mean, check her defense. Like, she was doing her mom a favor by abandoning her parenting duties. Check her audacity. No gratitude, no humility, just pure deflection. Even the judge had to repeat it back to her. You left your child with her. And still, she had the nerve to make excuses about not paying her own mother. The disconnect was unreal.
I feel like I give something back by being in school. You know, once I do get that education,
What are you
that
giving
degree,
back by being in school?
I'm giving her.
What are your plans after school?
Well, I'm majoring also in psychology, so
Okay.
I planned on opening my own clinic, doing a clinical psychologist, and then from there I could, you know, take care of my own daughter by then.
What about all the things her daughter needs today? Food, clothes, shoes. Dreams are great, but they don't feed a child. She's planning for a future while ignoring the present.
So I'm still not hearing what your issue is.
My issue is just,
Because she's your mom, you don't believe you need to pay her something.
that's what I thought.
Because if you think about it, you really don't live there. You just going to sleep.
Yeah, even the judge couldn't believe it. The grandma's stepping up, raising the kid, and all the mom can say is, she works? Like, seriously? Show some gratitude and pitch in. Words and love ain't enough.
Mom is taking care of the baby. You'd agree with me, right? If you're coming in at midnight, the baby is with your mom all day. You're literally coming to the house, not seeing the baby, because if it's at midnight, the baby is asleep, I'm assuming.
Right.
And you're going right back out
I
to go
tuck
to
her
school
in.
and work.
I tuck her in.
Hats off to the judge for calling out the mom, straight up telling her that she's basically just coming home to sleep, while her mother is doing all the heavy lifting. But wait for it. What will the mom say next? It's so outrageous, it'll make you question if she's living in a whole different universe.
Just so I can give her a kiss, you know, read her little stories, so that way there is some sort of bonding between us, since I do work, you know, all night long and go to school and all that.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Whoa, the mom thinks it's enough? Like bedtime kisses are a substitute for money, effort, and showing up daily? That's not parenting, that's playing pretend.
You know, she does help, and like I said, she doesn't like that. She's like not like that girl that goes clubbing and stuff. She does take that responsibility serious.
Yes.
It's just her job and school, and now she's going to work full time. Now she's going to be working more with the promotion.
Right.
To be fair, she does help out on weekends, spends time with her daughter, gives her mom a break here and there, and that's something. But the issue? It's always been money, because yes, love matters, but love doesn't cover rent, groceries, basic needs, or medical bills. You can't buy diapers with love.
So, you know, that kind of leaves us with a little extra money and no time, because we hardly had any time now. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like now that she's going full time.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start your child support so you can at least give mom some sort of assistance. Now,
And honestly, grandma is on fire here. If the mom is struggling to manage her time while working part-time, how will she manage now that she's working full-time? We totally support Grandma on this. She's frustrated, and rightly so. She's done pretending. That example hit like a ton of bricks, and boom. Finally, the judge steps in and drops the truth bomb we've all been waiting for. Talk about a reality check.
It's going to be based off your income, and you just said that you make $50,000 a year now. So at $50,000 a year, that brings your gross to $4,167. Your net is $3,516.78. There is a reimbursement to Medicaid. Now,
Justice was served, not with anger, but with truth. It was clear, fair, and long overdue.
so what I'll do is order you to be responsible for that health insurance and give you a credit of $100 towards the health insurance, okay?
Okay.
So that'll make your monthly child support obligation $803 to your mother.
The mother is now legally obligated to pay her mom every month. No more vague promises, no more, "I'll pay after graduation." This isn't a future promise, it's a present obligation. When you bring a child into the world, you take responsibility for that child's needs, not just the nice moments. That's the baseline, not the bonus.
Any questions? No?
No.
No questions?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And there you have it, another wild case, another reality check. Parenting isn't just about love, it's about showing up. It's about doing the work, even when you're tired, busy, or overwhelmed. Being busy doesn't cancel your responsibility. And the judge made sure that lesson was learned the hard way.